Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to TFTV. We're here with the ETF2L Winter Low 2023 Grand Finals. Winter is ending, so is this season. There's still a few more games to come, and this is one of the last few we have here in the low division beta. With me on production and with me on the mic, we'll have new face Harry joining me tonight.
Hello, are you well?
Yeah, all should be interesting here. This should be a very fun match. Like you said, you watched one of the semifinals. I watched both. I'm pretty interested to see how these two teams perform tonight.
Yeah, the French were very cold at the start of Product in their semi-final, but ramped up by the end and did a reverse sweep, which was a very interesting thing to watch. They had a very strong gully wash, so it'll be interesting to see if they can hold up that performance in this final as well.
Yeah, on the flip side, it was a little bit of a different story for Yakuza. I guess one thing was the same, which is that they had to warm up throughout one map to really get going in the end, but it was a nail-bite of a match for them in semifinals. And just incredibly close game. 4-4 golden cap is not something you see all too often, but sometimes you just go the distance 30 minutes deep into a game. Both teams on match point. No one gets the final one, having to decide it there. But most importantly, on gully wash as well for the side of Yakuza. Things weren't looking so hot for a minute here, but they clutched it together in the end, still, all things considered, in that match. So it's still doable. They have the comeback potential. They've shown great strides here so far. We'll see what comes of it here in the end. First of all, we have some maps to talk about as well. We do know what these teams will be playing tonight, right?
Yeah, so they're starting off on Product and then heading on to Snake, and any map 3 that we play will be on Sunshine.
Yeah, very familiar ground, I'm sure, for all of these teams. Like you said, you were already speculating about their COF potential. I can, with good confidence, due to the special agents in chat, mention that the Frenchies hate Bagel because they are old boomers and learning new map is difficult. So instead, they're just playing Product to win COF matches, which this season has the benefit, right? Since last season, we have 2 COF maps. You can ban one and still play COF anyway, and that might just play in a cards here a little bit.
Indeed, having a nice variety of different game modes in the pool is always good. Bringing over that from Highlander, I see.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, Highlander, if anything, has the opposite problem, right? Where it's usually too many COF maps, and you can't ever ban any of them without your opponent still being able to pick them. So we're getting to a nice little middle ground here for these teams to be able to actually just have that sort of advantage as well. It came into fruition quite a few times in playoffs. There's been a lot of Bagel played in playoffs as well, because some people just fear the sniper. And you mentioned there's someone you're looking out for on sniper here as well in this match?
Yeah, so in the semi-finals on the French side, we had Lucky, who was doing very well on Sniper on Product and actually probably won his team the map because he started playing Sniper in the final 3 rounds, and obviously they reverse sweep, so it ended up working out for them. So it'll be interesting to see if Lucky is playing on the Sniper as well.
Yeah, today. Should be a fun one to see here for sure. With that said, these teams obviously well deserved their spot here in the grand finals as well. Had both fairly strong performances in the regular season. I think the Hungarian side Yakuza only lost a single map against a team later eliminated by the French team in playoffs. The French part themselves did lose one full game and also gave a default loss. I don't know what happened there, but it didn't hinder them too much, won everything else. So worked out just fine regardless to make a run deep into bracket here. And it's a big one now as well. Like I said, it's not the last game we have this season. There's still mid-div 2 and open to come the next couple of days. So there should be more action to come here for sure. I think open is very soon as well. So keep your eyes posted on this Twitch channel for more lower div action. We've seen Div 1 and Prem already blast through the playoffs games in the special sort of bracket we have lined up every time. The like sort of scuffed double element bracket we have throughout each weekend, last weekend, this week basically. Or the last 2 weeks basically. It's always fun to see that, but this will be a strong comparison, alright? Skill level here obviously very different, but that doesn't mean they won't try their hardest.
Indeed, and we all know that Open Grand Finals is the really important game to watch anyway, so yeah. Nice little warm-up for that.
Oh, for sure as well. And I mean, this is a little bit of a different story as well. The Frenchies, like I said, they're veterans in downwards, I guess, in some capacity. They certainly have been around in the past, not in a little while, maybe. On the flip side, on Hungarian side, on Yakuza, you have a couple of more familiar faces, but also a couple of people who have been genuinely rising up divisions. So we'll see who comes out on top. France versus Hungary. It is the Nations Cup all over again here in low grand finals. France on the blue, Yakuza on the red. What other colors would it be with these two nations fighting it out on Product for map 1?
And here we see that both soldiers on Pride Rock and double bomb from the soldiers coming in from the Hungarian team. The blue medic safe in main, and they're all cleaning up the bombers, and nobody dies on the French side, and it's going to be a complete wipe from Hungary, so a nice start for the French there.
Yeah, you spotted the bombs about as early as all of the French side did here. Everyone's shot down incredibly early, no danger in sight here, and for better or for worse, there is a shortstop spotted on the server. We'll see how much that will matter here in the end. For what it's worth right now, forward hold coming out as well, trying to not get them get out of spawn, getting dangerously close Biswas with the aggressive bomb coming through. I know this man loves going in deep when given the opportunity. This might not have been quite it though. Couldn't force this Uber. Kraken doesn't have yet, but they're in no danger to die there anyway. Everyone's cleaned up nicely. Full 4-man sack whip, sorry, while the scouts building and spawn Rappy not involved in this one, but nothing much comes of it. And now the French team with the forward hold and an Uber will probably just make this even harder to get out of.
Yeah, as soon as the soldier of the demo died there, you knew that nothing was going to happen. The medic too far back to get bombed on, and they just sent in the other two players because they didn't want to delay their spawners. And the Hungarians now having that Uber charge, going to try to bust through this left-hand side, using in on a scout, but the French are kiting it back all the way to the point, so Uber's going to be... this Uber's not going to... What? Okay, sure. I was going to say, this Uber's going to be great for the French, but it just didn't ever get used, so I guess it wasn't very good for the French after all.
Not very much at all here. Look at that. Yakuza cleaning up pretty nice as well. It's just punch on point, but he's just outnumbered at this right here. Broda with the late bomb on the medic will not be able to save much on that department either. Yakuza with a tough first half of the French time, already down a lot of their time there, but maybe this is the comeback they need right now. Still have to wait for Janšik's spawn, but other than that, they're all combined on point again. With Uber as well, will not be able to have a chance on the forward hold nearly as much as their opponents, but maybe with the earlier charge coming up, that will still be a tough nut to crack now.
Yeah, the Yakuza will be favoured here for this fight, but the French favoured in the round so far. Early frag coming out, soldiers bombing onto Kragan, and the French are all weak, but the Hungarians lose 2 as well. The French might just back up here and take the Uber, 50% Uber back into spawn and try to get onto that medic.
There we go, Uber comes out late here, Kragan getting out. That's all you really want to see right now. The Frenchies, they have a bit of a lead. You can afford to play with some sack whiffs if you really have to in these sort of situations. Gotta take your time while you still can early enough in the round here, but in the flip side now as well, French is coming up on their own charge right now. They do want to see some value out of this one. They want to come back on point, get some good kills of this, preferably, obviously, always the medic inside here. No sniping or anything just yet. The most sniper action they have is just a scout on shortstop. That's not going to be quite having that impact with the cap time coming through on that end. It's going to force a reaction out of the Hungarians already.
Yeah, there was a double bomb attempt by the Hungarians, but one of them soldiers got stuck on Pride Rock, and so it ended up being a solo sack. It's going to probably just be poking, and a soldier front bombing in onto Cliff here. Not getting much done, but lots of space created, and the French capped for free.
And there you go. Well, maybe not quite free, a lot of fighting involved at least, but didn't lose anyone at all. Certainly makes this feel a whole lot more worth it in the end on the French side. Uber's coming up now as well, so Yakuza won't stay off the fight here for too long, I would imagine. Look at that, just Rappy solo Uber over the point crack, and this time round will not hold on for too long. In fact, uses the second, he takes damage as well. Still a better whip for the Frenchies, but they're not flashing anyone. Mr. Cal off the beam will go down.
And a bomb in onto the medic for the fading, and they're just the team so much damage in pocket. The French are going to have to back out. They lose both scouts. You can't fight on product without your scouts. And Hungarians just recap there, 30 seconds after the French cap back.
Yeah, really solid exchange. Just caught one player off the Uber, and suddenly it's just going so much better, even if you use first in this exchange situation. French is back on the lower position here on the map. It'll be a little struggle to come back, but they're not going to waste too much time at least. Want to quickly regain control, preferably before the other team has an Uber to pop in return, but no one's getting cap him just yet. Road on the flank, hard denied as well. Beautiful awareness there by both flank players on the red team, trying to make some space here as well. Big damage coming through on that department. Janšik barely alive, needs his team to follow up, but they are all on that as well. Right side in early, flank on the left, coming in late, cleans up quite nicely and keeps the point alive well after the Uber's out now.
Yeah, the Hungarians have overtaken the French in terms of time. Only 45 seconds left on the clock as we come into these later stages in the round. The Hungarians are just coming up, and the French are going to have to just poke and try to make an opening here.
Yeah, there we go. It's gonna just look real nice for Yakuza right now. A little bit more time to go. 30 seconds sounds so little, but it can be so much on a map like this. Bombs coming through already for the French side, getting big damage. Roda goes down for the force, and as long as they're playing the cards right here, this will just be a better Uber. There we go. Kraken pops roof right away here. The chase is on, and Forhawk and gang just way too late to get out of there. They desperately wanted this force, but they did not know what they're getting into.
But they get Kraken in the post Uber, they're collapsing onto the point, they do get some frags at the end. Everyone's really weak on all sides, and they might actually just win this post fight in a 6v4.
There we go, not bad, not bad. Gives them a fighting chance right now without heals, however. It's going to be a bit of a struggle right now. Late kills coming out as well. Bisbar still on point. Fights Demo 1v1, but had the traps ready from the outset here. Bomb once again, just grasping at straws on the French side. Scout going in with that as well. That's all they had right now. With Bisbar is just hitting so much damage on the point. Everyone has to run in against Demo Man, but it's making his life so much easier.
Yeah, the later stages of this round have been absolutely crazy. Overtime for about 30 seconds here, and they're just not getting on the point. They lose too many frags. The Demo Man putting those stickies all over the point and takes that round for his team there.
Yeah, there we go. The old heads not quite ready for what the new guard of Hungary can bring to the table. Just yeah, it looks like all's working out well for Yakuza just now. However, fair fighting aside, the sniper's coming out, Night Terror on the sniper. They will certainly shake things up in the playstyle that they have to approach this game with now.
Yeah, he's peeking from China here. They don't know if they expect to hit. They get an early frag onto one of the scouts. 2 scouts and a sniper product is basically cheating. That's a Demo Man down as well. High bomb from the soldier behind to distract from the soldier in front. Kraken goes down as well. That distraction play coming in from behind from Yancic actually working out very well. The French probably going to get the cap here, but they've got a 70% overcharge disadvantage at least.
Yeah, it's going to lose some time, but it's going to put them in a good position right after that as well. Pond trying to spawn Kippy a little bit, puts himself in a really awkward position and didn't quite have eyes on where the medic was walking through, unfortunately. Bohawk will be fine, but with the overcharge coming up as well, it's really on the Frenchies to make a choice right now. How much do they want to commit fighting back on this point and maybe get a chance on killing the medic? Looks like not too much in the end. A bit more spam comes through, but it's really the sniper that has to put the work in right now. And with the sniper on the Demo Man, it's certainly off to a great start already, even with no overcharge on side.
Indeed, with that Demo Man down, you can walk forward and take lots of space. That's 2 frags now, and Yancic is bombing in for that sniper, but he's going to get cleaned up. After getting the sniper, it's a 5v3, sorry, and the medic getting bombed him in, having to force, and it's not looking good for the Hungarians in this post-Uber. So many players down compared to the French, but the French just back off here.
Yeah, that's gonna work pretty well right now. And we see the class switch on the Yakuza side as well, steady on the sniper class as well. Looks like we're fighting fire with fire a little bit right now. We'll see if it works.
Behind onto Kraken.
Oh, we couldn't even use, I think, Embedding in that situation would force if they could, but only an 80, no chance this time.
Yeah, that's one time as the scout you actually want the medic to have Uber, because he's probably going to force there and you get the force as opposed to not getting anything for your 140 damage, 110 damage onto the medic there.
Alright, so far so good. Gets the Frenchies back on point. Didn't lose too much time at all just yet. 40 seconds behind. Quickly something you can make up for as long as the forward hold looks good. But I don't think we're getting one core yet. They might have the Uber, but with a sniper and a soldier down, you're missing a lot of spam potential on these doors you desperately need right now. So we'll give up a lot of ground here. Maybe Steady can finally bring some shots to the table, but will not hit the first one here. Right away out sniped by Knight. The bombs are coming out anyway. They want to make some space regardless. And on the French end, however, not liking any of that, will pop in return, catch Shiva out as well. Looking good on this exchange, and the scout in the backlines will not succeed either. The soldier even, sorry, rapidly swapped to a different class for this sort of playstyle right now. Rare to see, sometimes it works out pretty well, but as we see on French side as well, if you just have a soldier that can play sniper, you'd much rather just take the one class switch instead of 2.
Yes, exactly. You do want 2 scouts, but you also want people on their main classes, so it's often good to give up a scout instead of making people swap, unless you're equally proficient on both classes, of course.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out of it. For now, the Frenchies holding their own pretty well, but I mean, Hungarians still have plenty of time to work with. You talked about before the game started as well that these 2 teams have shown great adaptation in both the semifinals matches, so surely only time will tell what brings the change they need here right now. It looks like Yancic behind is not enough just yet. There we go, Steady starting to hit some shots, however. Certainly is off to a good start on the point take again here. Half a minute behind right now, and having to go for an Uber fight here would be disastrous right now. They need to crack this early, but Kraken gets the charge up.
Yeah, the demo getting flashed in as well. Bohawk going down, and now you just want to get your medic out. They're weak, you don't want to lose them. Now you've got that overcharge advantage, but getting caught in the red pocket, and now you just have to go for frags on the French team.
Yeah, there you go. Coming back a little bit here, losing a Lumet for that always hurts a little bit, but being off point as they are has the one benefit that you're not on point possession. You spawn here a little bit faster. Bohawk already up, Kraken still with a long spawn to go while they're capping up the point. Works out pretty generously for the Yakuza's side of this fight, but it's still a long way off from being any good at all. They're still a minute behind after all. Small Uber not going to do enough just yet, even if it does help closing the distance a little bit. They gotta start hitting the shots, especially the snipers in these situations have so much pressure on them right now to hit everything they can. Steady looking for the big kill, misses the medic just barely and takes damage as well. He wins the 1v1, however, losing a lot of the rest of the team. In the meantime, though, will not make point possession really easy at all, and they're trying to prey on that, send people in deep on the French side, and see what they can sneak up with that.
Pressured by the stickies, get stickied off, and a huge kill there from the red demo.
Yeah, that was very strange. They sent 2 people behind, but then, like you said, Biswas could just walk in on the combo, and nice shots later. Steady fully warmed up now as well. It looks like maybe fighting 5v5 is not working out. They're getting burnt now, and suddenly the sniper has disappeared.
Yes, you're putting on 2 soldiers again, I imagine, to try to get some more pressure onto that point. As soon as the Hungarians lost their 1 soldier there, the French just got the cap for free, and, well, it didn't work out in the end, but here we go, double bomb from the soldiers. They liked doing that a lot in the semi-final as well. They spent a lot of time doing double bombs to try to equalize supercharge advantages, but this one not working out.
Yeah, Yakuza hanging on just fine for now, still behind on the timer maybe, but holding the point very, very nicely so far. Sniper seems to be working out for them almost better than for the French team. They still have some time to spare to come back right now. Do have Übercharge in hand as well now to finally make a proper exchange out of this, but it's got to be a good one too. Got to be careful here getting in. You just really have to look for anything you can. Players behind seems to be something they really like to do, but it hasn't really worked too well just yet. So maybe you got to change things up a little bit. Ponch eating so much damage before the fight even starts. They got to be a little bit more careful than this. Barely even get capped on while that's happening, but there we go. The trigger is being pulled to just start going deep on both sides for that matter, trying to get some big damage across the point. It's going to be Yakuza using first. With this many players down, however, I don't think they can really do much with this one.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, they sent in a double bomb to try to get a force on from the medic, but I would have thought you would try to just take the Uber trade and try to win the post fight. If you get the recap, they don't have time to get another Uber charge. But it's working out right now. If they can get their spawners and delay with this Uber charge, get some frags with it, they might actually win this round, because the medic doesn't have a offensive Uber on the Hungarian side. The French Uber does come out. If they can just clean up these 2 frags, they should win this round, I imagine.
There we go, Knight back on Sniper, desperately trying anything to work right now, but they have to run on point, and I feel like the Sniper's the worst choice right now. You're just losing so much DM potential because you just have to run on point while shooting. Scout much better at that, but even then, Kel's struggling cleaning up these kills right now. Bit was eventually outdone, but the Hungarian spawner is still here, and anyone they claw to death right now might still be down for so much longer. Being the medic down, however, will be just enough to finally finish up the round. Nailbiter at the end. It's just about working out, but we're in for one hell of a game so far.
Yeah, getting those 2 frags was key for the French, making the spawners from the Hungarians come in slower because they had the cap, getting that double overtime capture to win the round. As we go into this 3rd round, 1 round apiece. The red Demo Man a lot faster here, and the French Demo Man taking some spam, so early advantage to the Hungarians in this mid fight.
Yeah, good start here, trying to get damage across early once again on French side with the sniper and tower as well. Usually you see people play slow with the sniper, they're just going deep while they still can. Big results on that one, getting a lot of kills, but none of them the medic. Warhawk out early, saw the writing on the wall when the first player started to go down. In the meantime, the rest of the team similarly so, realized what was going to happen, just went in for Kraken, found that kill crucially. Was not a bad idea last time, so once again playing with a little bit of a time deficit, but with the Uber ad from the get-go.
Yeah, they did exactly what you said. They lost that two early frags, so sent in all their bombs, and the medic just running all the way back to spawn to make sure they have that Ubercharge advantage to try to recap this in the post-cap push. But they lose a soldier early here, so they lose a lot of spam. They do have the Uber to work with though, so it'd be interesting to see if they try to take this for free, try to pressure the French out, or use this Uber to take the space and try to get it that way.
Steady up high in the backline, tries to land on anyone he can, but it's not enough in the end. Will just crater on the scout's head, taken down here. It gets them the space they wanted to drag people back at least, but for how much longer? Right now, player ad on the French side, they're gonna just be playing right back into this.
But they lose the Demo. Demo taking 2 stickies on the point, getting popped up, and the scout running forward to claim that frag. Kraken escaping to spawn just about, and the Uber comes out from the force on Bohawk, so not too bad for the French. Time is about equal, and they have full Uber charge advantage as they barrel forward onto this point. Using on the scout, getting that soldier frag in here, you should get the Demo and maybe a couple of other frags as well.
There we go, free cleanup for the French. Uber looking strong on that regard as well. Back in point control at any moment here as well. Should be barely any time down, quickly caught up for sure if everything goes right on this point. Oh, look at Pawn, that man's going so deep. He wants to just catch anyone unaware at the spawn. If 2 pipes hit, it's GG, medic down, but not quite getting that lucky. Will not work out quite yet. Still a bit of a forward hold right now. We'll see what comes out of it as well. Steady back to Sniper as well. Once again, they're just in an arms race right now. Who's going to outsnipe who this entire game?
Yeah, it was interesting they went for the forward hold with a Sniper there. Sniper playing all the way back on Cliff, but trying to have a forward hold with 5 players. You would have thought you'd only try that with both soldiers up. You need that spam to deny those doorways, but 3 frags coming out for the French. And here we are, clean up just coming up, and they should be able to hold this point. Bohawk backing up and leaving steady to take the SVS.
There we go, close fight here, but as much as it broke up the forward hold, it's just not any quick progress being made by Yakuza. Even if they can easier get out of spawn right now, it really just comes down to these snipes getting hit right now to open things up. 1v1 about to happen here. They're barely out of each other's sideline as well, but the bomb in the back here from Janczyk really wants to try and bait someone out of position. Mixed results on that one. They're getting space out of it through the sideline, but not for long until the shots are coming through again. Shiba down, exchange on the point, trying to see if they can sneak any kills out of this, but looks like the Frenchie is not making any mistakes on their position there during the Uber. Will get out. Hawk late to leave through the sideline. The Uber flash already off him for a long time there, but Knight unable to hit the clutch shot they really needed there. However, it's still looking good. He hits that one. Sniper down, and suddenly there's just so much freedom for the blue sniper.
Yeah. Sending in more bombs here onto Crag. The scouts may be able to pressure him and deal some damage, but the French turtling on the point, denying that point pressure, and Bohawk might even get caught here. He does, the snipe coming out from Knight, and that's going to be Crag getting killed as well. The fadeaway pipe from Bizbaz there, and the Ubers are actually be in favour of the Hungarian team, but time firmly in favour of the French team. 40 seconds plays 2 minutes, and you'd have to say the French are favoured in this 3rd round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole round started off with the side of Yakuza in Uber ad, but off time, and they're still down on time, even this far down into the match. Forward hold and sniping has done a big number on them here. Lucky to not have anyone lost there just now, trying to leave spawn as well. It wasn't even really forward spawn. A forward hold that was just Pawn throwing some damage at the open door here. Speaking of throwing damage, and everyone's going in deep. They already have that. They're playing so aggressive for the kill on the medic, however. Despite that, maybe just completely disregarding the situation here a little bit on the charge, just wanting to go deep, wanting to get kills, getting ahead of themselves here. But it is admittedly desperate time for Yakuza. They got to come back quickly, but it looks like they might just be done for this round.
You would say that, but I think they are probably going to get this recap. French are 3 players down, better spawners for the Hungarians as well, but they need to be careful not to use that medic, otherwise they really are in a tough spot. But they do have 50% supercharge advantage. That was an interesting play from the Hungarians, sending in 3 people sacked for the medic. But the French then just fed 3 frags back, so you can't really fault the Hungarians for that. French possibly slightly throwing that fight.
Yeah,
so
it's getting dicey now.
Had a big advantage in that fight, but they are equalising their overcharge advantage. That you do have 2 minutes to recap, and if they do recap, they just win outright, seeing as they are on overtime.
Yeah, and like again, as you said earlier, the spawn time's happening so much right now. The Frenchies can't afford to die in these fights and take just anyone down with them, get faster back into the refight here, and they're looking for any opportunity. There's the snipe, Bohawk down. All the Uber advantage they were working for earlier is just gone in an instant, and now without invincibility, fighting against an invincible blob of blue players is just going to be a matter of like just impossibility. It is right here. Everyone's hitting their shots. Bizbaz last man standing, but not for long. Takes down the medic. That's going to be looking nice on the log, but the only thing that looks good on the logs right now is Frenchies up ahead.
Yes, the Hungarians there, Yakuza, playing the entire round. Time down, but have overcharge advantage, and then you lose your medic in the final fight, and that's not what you want to do if you're playing for Uberad to win the round. Maybe they can bring it back in this round. Maybe have time and overcharge advantage as we come into this 4th round. And early damage onto the red demo, but also Crag taking a sticky. He's leaving main, and lots of space for the Hungarians here.
Yeah, they're taking any space they can behind lines here as well. Janczyk with the bomb, hard denied by Pipe though. Kel cleaning up from there. Good start. However, even with more control right now, Yakuza might still get contested here. The Frenchies coming in hot again on the retake. Scouts are so weak for the Frenchies, so they gotta be real careful. Steady, trying to chase that kill down. Will not quite get it, but is that even a problem right now? They're on point, that's all you really need, and for how close the last 2 rounds have been, that was with a much worse start than this, I would say, on Yakuza. The only benefit for the Frenchies is now that they do actually have an Uber, but it's Yakuza starting off the timer much more victoriously than the last 2 rounds.
Yes, Yakuza have got to think that as a win. Both soldiers bombing for the sniper here. They obviously are fearing Knight on the sniper. Both Ubers coming out on the point. This is going to be an absolute brawl in this post Uber. They are chasing the French into spawn. It's a 4 versus 3 for the French, and they have spawner advantage, so you must imagine they're getting at the recap here.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Hungarians haven't left anymore just yet, but just about getting away with it. There's just not anyone to really jump at most. The double man could take that one here, and the Scout's actually winning the fight. Kel just going a bit too far off beam, and once again the Red Scout's reigning supreme here is losing so much health on that, but there's the snipe coming through though. They didn't expect the snipe out of nowhere after the mid-fight. It's already too late to realize though. The snipe lands on the medic, and that's exactly what you want to see. Always surprised when people go sniper from the get-go on product rounds, but the second they had the mid-fight over and done with, they switched to sniper and they weren't ready for it.
Yes, you'd think by this point that Yakuza would be not walking to sniper sightlines, but apparently Bohawk peeking that sniper sightline and getting his head taken clean off. Full overcharge advantage for the French. Time advantage in the hands of Yakuza there, but the French are pressuring this point. Demo going down early in this fight tonight. He's doing lots of damage, getting lots of key frags throughout these rounds. And the French do recap cleanly, not having to use that Uber and getting 3 frags. Maybe a forward hold will come out here.
Yeah, once again, forward holds have been doing good work for the Frenchies so far this match, so getting any more value out of them will be nice. Maybe Yakuza has learned a thing or two about how to deal them. I mean, for now, it's been more of the same right now, just going in aggressive every time, but look at that, just blindsided completely by Broder holding around the corner, and they're just walking into a world of hurt there.
Yeah, Broder getting 2 clean frags there. Just walking through a little choke point versus a soldier, you're not going to get too much done, especially as a scout. But you would have thought the soldier might have been able to clean that up. The Uber comes out from the Hungarians, but they don't clean up the soldier frag. They just want to go for the force. Broder getting a trade frag on the demo because of it, and they're going to have to back up here without that one spam class to hold the left side. But you got to take that as a win if you're the French team.
Yeah, I mean, it's good enough. The timer, at the very least, is slowly but surely getting there after a bit of a rough start to the round. Finally closing the distance on the clock. Warbland plenty good enough already here, especially still on largely even Ubers as well. Certainly have time to fight back if they play their cards right now, and it looks like they're doing just, yeah, falling back early, but got steady baited out of that. The bomb's not good enough. Trade out some players here. Janček on the sniper. Mixed results on that one, though. Unable to get the kill, and Broder on the flip side instantly gets the kill on the medic. Beautiful stuff out of the Frenchies. It's 2 down each right now, so maybe Hungarians will just pull the trigger going deep, but no one's getting a chance to. They spot everyone well ahead of time. Scout's just positioned on point to shut them down before they get any funny ideas. And now Yakuza once again will have to play against the sniper. Maybe we'll see some off-classing again on the Hungarian side as well, though.
Yes, this round started so strong for the Hungarians with the Ubercharge advantage and the time advantage with that first cap. They've lost both of those, and now they're going to have to sack for this medic. Punch getting the sticky trap kill on the bombing soldier. The Uber does come out, but Bohawk getting chased into main, no one to protect him, and it's just 2 left up for the Hungarians. That's going to be Ubercharge advantage again for the French here, and they've still got the cap in their favour. 45 seconds on the clock. It's looking a very strong position for them here.
Yeah, on map point as well, it's going to be brutal for Yakuza to have to bring this back in this round, let alone another one after that, if they want to win the map. Only map 1 of the best of 3, so there's a long ways to go either way, but you never want to go down early. Get the first kill here right out of spawn, puts them in a much better position for the refight, and it's Janček sniping now as well. They want to keep their scouts on scout. They've done so much good work as well, and if Janček can keep hitting them like that, they're in no trouble at all, actually.
Yeah, they get that recap for free off that nice kill, and Punch going down as well. And the Yakuza team playing slightly further back. They do have a sniper, not opting for the forward hold, even though the French are all the way back in spawn. They do have the Ubercharge disadvantage. That's possibly what they're thinking about. Med playing nice and passive in pocket, as they do get spammed out. Sticky traps all over the left-hand side of the map from Yakuza's point of view, trying to get this medic drop as they come in, I imagine. And see if they can wait long enough. The Uber does actually equalize here. Demo coming in. Bohawk just popping on 2 health, just about staying alive. 2 frags going out, 1 on each side. Bohawk weak in this post Uber on the point all alone. And he gets caught from behind by Ponch, and it's just an absolute slugfest going on. The French are losing everybody. Jančič now on sniper. And it's an absolute maul.
It's just still going as well. Broder crashes onto Whisper. Somehow the fall damage will be enough in the end. 1 more bump on the sniper will finally put an end to this fight. It lasted so long. All with Yakuza on point control will help out the Frenchies here a little bit. Sure, it got Yakuza more time, but in the end, they had a better spawns at least for this one. Have everyone up a little bit sooner than Yakuza back on point as well. And suddenly, all snipers are gone. Everyone knows what's to play for here. They know there's just going to be time for like one more real fight on point. They want to have everyone on damage classes as much as they can. Steady denied immediately. Yanchik over the point, just deleted right away. It looks like the Frenchies are cleaning up just enough to wrap up the game. It's just the double man left standing, but there's just a blob of Frenchies in front of him that he cannot stand against. And we have entered the French dimensions, and they're winning the first map 3-1.
Yeah, the end there, the soldier going in before his team, landing on the point in front of 6 French players, and no one in front of him to take any of the damage, so he got absolutely melted, and from there they just kept getting picked off one by one and ended up losing the fight, therefore losing the map 3-1. And it was a very strong showing from the French after that first round.
Yeah, there was still obviously good stuff by the Hungarians, but in the end, Yakuza just couldn't really handle enough. These forward holds have just done so much. They never really got any setup themselves, I don't think, really, on the Hungarian side. Yakuza just unable to put that power position on display here, really, where the Frenchies had a lot more down experience, showing surely for the Frenchies a little bit and making a big difference.
Yeah, they often won fights, but losing 1 or 2 players, sacking for the med or something. So you really want all 6 players up for that forward hold, so they could never really take advantage of it. Whereas the French often winning fights without losing a single player, because they often use their Ubers very aggressively to win the fights, not worrying too much about killing the medic, but often killing him anyway, and it worked out very well for them there.
Yeah, brilliant start for sure here. 3-1, strong showing on the first map. There's a lot more to come still, though. Like I said, it is a best of 3 here in playoffs, in grand finals, so this might still go quite a distance. For what it's worth, however, it is important to note that this map was the map pick by the Hungarians, actually. They just got shown off on their map pick as well, and Snakewater is what the Frenchies wanted to see.
That's never what you want to see as the people who picked the map, is to lose your map and not even have it be a golden cap. But I imagine they were feeling fairly confident after that first round, but the French adapting and bringing a sniper out like they did in their semi-final as soon as they started losing the rounds, and it made all the difference in the semi-final, making all the difference in the final as well, not even having to go to that 5th round like they did in the semis.
Yeah, it's a great showing here for sure. Up next, Snakewater. That's gonna maybe actually help a little bit, though. It's gonna be a big change of pace for sure right now, coming off the KOF map straight back into 5CP. Might actually do them some favors here. Just get that momentum out of the sniper gameplay that they just developed here a little bit as well. For what it's worth, Snakewater, a map the Hungarians just played the other day in semifinals as well. For anyone wondering, both semifinals played yesterday and the day before, basically. They really scheduled these last minute, all of these games. And for how close it was, that was the 4-4 game into Golden Cap, clutch by Yakuza. The later half of that game was a huge comeback, so maybe they still have that same energy as yesterday. That was a brilliant performance to come back big time, being down like 3-1 at one point to turn it back around. So solid performance. Maybe we can see some of that.
Yes, if they can reproduce a comeback, that would be nice to see a 3rd map as well. And we'll see Sunshine, which I don't think either team has played in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they all played them at some point, of course, and certainly in many scrims ahead of time as well, but it's probably been a minute. Really had the important games happen on Sunshine as well, so sometimes these sort of things run on slightly outdated information for like your later map picks in a best of 3 scenario, especially in lower divs as well. It's going to be really awkward to see how that turns out in the end here right now. I think everyone's slowly joining the server again, so we're getting ready for the second map. Unlike it used to be in the olden days of the game, though, however, it is not the Frenchies delaying the second map for Smoke Break, it's the Hungarians.
That is very unusual for all our older players. Frenchies loving a smoke break in the olden days. But I guess we just have to wait for the cigarettes to be burned out before we start the second map.
Well, let's hope they're not getting burned out. Otherwise, though, if the Hungarians want to bring this back, there's a long game still to come here as well. And as far as I remember, I don't think they had a match go to 3 yet in playoffs either. Just won both games. As close as they were the last few in a row here, back-to-back, in just 2 maps as well. That's always something important to remember here as well. They have significantly more newer players on their roster as well than the Frenchies, so that sort of stamina for this long, playing at least relatively close to your A game anyway is still a huge difference maker. I mean, it happens even in top lives as well, where at some point someone's just losing steam a little bit, and the more competent team at the end will just sort of run rampant at the like last few minutes because of it.
Yeah, it can be a double-edged sword playing your semis or lower bracket finals before the grand finals. You may be match warm, but you may also have lower stamina, not having enough time to recover. So it can go both ways. It can help you or it can hurt you.
Alrighty, we'll see what comes of it. I guess I can mention once again as well, real quick, that we do have potentially, don't want to guarantee anything just yet, but potentially we can bring you guys open grand finals coverage as well, mid and Div 2, somewhere in the distant future as well. Don't worry about it. But for sure, we do know already finalized date tomorrow at 8, so a little bit earlier than usual. We'll have open grand finals as well. It's a 75% Russian match between Monolith and Fitness Gaming, fighting it out for the win on that one. I've been following surprisingly much open. They always play like not first day, so it just kind of worked out that way. So I've seen a lot of those teams play throughout the season. I'm very interested to see who comes out on top of that.
I mean, if it was a competition of who's got the best name, Fitness Gaming, obviously steamrolling that in 2 maps, but hard to say.
Bad either, but Fitness Gaming is just...
That's just cream of the crop.
We've come a long way from everyone just putting all your tech at the end of the name.
Exactly.
That was the dark days.
That was the dark age. The 800s of Team Fortress 2.
Luckily, we live in a time where we don't have to worry about Tech being a dominant force. They even have custom logos.
Too old.
I mean, you saw the tweet. I mean, it's not gonna lie. We know who the best teams in the world are.
I mean, you've got to grant him that. He has been playing for a very long time.
I mean, so have the Frenchies. They're on low right now.
It's not quite the pinnacle of Team Fortress 2. Is ETF2L low, but we do love watching it either way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is where people still try the hardest because, you come together, especially in the Hungarian side, you just are coming up, basically. I've seen a couple of these phases start in Open a couple seasons ago as well, from back in the day on whatever the rest was called. I think they're actually bringing that team name back as well, under, I believe, also Bohawk's leadership for the Freshmeat Cup starting soon as well. So they're trying again to get some boys together from Hungary as well, and I'm sure many people try as well. I'm pretty sure we have a command in chat for that. JMax, press the button for it. But it looks like we will be starting in the chat. If bets are still open, get in while you can. If they're not, unlucky, but it looks like you still have a few seconds to spare before the map starts and get your prediction in. It was a competitive map. The Frenchies is just looking a little bit ahead on product. We're now on Snakewater, a very different map, of course, but it is also the Frenchies map pick. So it's going to be a curious case of who comes out on top of this one. All right, we're hearing the ready-up noises blasting off right now, which means we're ready to go for the second map of this best of 3. The Frenchies still in blue, Yakuza is still in red. Both teams, as before, rolling out to the fight here. Now on map 2, the Frenchies up 1. It's a best of 3 series. If they win this map, if they get 5 points or get the lead at the end of the 30 minutes here, they will win this grand final.
Yeah, there's a quick mid coming up from the Hungarians, pushing onto that French demo. And he doesn't go down, but he's so weak. He's out of this fight for ages. Both soldiers going down. The soldiers so strong on this Snakewater mid, being able to bomb very deep, very quickly. And the Hungarians losing steam because losing those soldiers so early. Going to go down 4. It's just the demo and the medic left. And they are going to get chased onto second. But it looks like they're just about going to escape, not getting caught by the demo and the soldier bomb. But the French being able to take both mid and second for free there. Equal Ubers, so not going to be able to push out onto last. Bohawk gets forced, actually. There is a slight overcharge advantage, in fact, but Krag not getting pressured enough, but he doesn't have anyone to heal. It's going to be so close. If he dies or lives, he does end up going down and getting absolutely destroyed on grass
early. Cleaning up late as well, coming in just in time. They were playing with such a small margin of error there, having to use that Uber so early on the Yakuza, but somehow it barely works out. It's a stretch you can call it that Bohawk still died, and Frenchies still have Swarmers coming up to mid right now. bit of a mess, but, you know, they're just coming off a court map. They just want to fight. I mean, I guess we were all as surprised as you were just now that they actually fought back on second that much, actually went as deep as they were, but it caught the Frenchies out as well. They were just not in a good position with no Uber in hand just yet. They thought they had that point for free, and Yakuza just coming in hot to surprise them.
Yeah, the demo man must have been building very well with his medic to get the Uber about 15% before Crag there, getting forced out in lobby with the Uber being so bad, but just because Crag got disconnected from his team, wasn't able to build the last 5% quick enough and ends up going down on 97 or 98%. Very tough for the French there after such a good mid-fight, but they are now on their own second with about an equal Uber charge, and it will be interesting to see how the Hungarians try to break through now.
Alright, back on the Frenchie second. Quick turnaround for Yakuza for sure, but what now? This time around, both teams do have an Uber in this game state, so things will probably not become as explosive as quickly now. That's going to be a lot harder to just take space for free, but that doesn't mean no one will be trying. We've seen a lot of people peeking already. Maybe they will commit to Uber as well. Medic really far forward. Warhawk trying to take space here with the Demo Man. Damage is coming through, hitting some good spam, but it's just not enough. They're trading Demo Man, and in the meantime, the bombs just barely do find the force. It sounds good and all, but that's still 3 down. You've got to be real careful here on Yakuza.
You do. You've got to protect your medic, touch your medic from the double soldier bomb coming in. Not protected well enough. Bohawk using on 150 health. Would have been interesting to see if he tried to milk that slightly longer, but I guess he just didn't want to drop. If you drop there, it's really bad. If you're 3 down and you drop, yeah, you're losing middle there as opposed to just holding with a 25% Uber disadvantage.
Alright, not bad, not bad. Frenchies not quite getting all they wanted here, but at least the Uber's out of the equation just now. Don't have to worry about an Uber repush into second at the very least, so it's not the best case scenario, but it's far from the worst. We're basically back where we started a little bit here, but with the blue side on ahead, maybe they will dare take a chance. Have to wait for a spawner here. Knight up only now, but they have 6 ready to go. They have an Uber roaring to go as well. Broda already peeking a little bit here, but will they actually take their chance just now? It's still early in the game. Risks is sort of a mixed background to take early here, but they want to not let this go to waste. But look at that, Bohawk already up on the Uber now.
Yeah, the French taking way too long to get onto mid, losing a 12-second Uber charge advantage, and both soldiers going down, just feeding in for free, basically. I think they were trying to get the force out, but the medic standing far enough back with his scouts to make sure that he's not forced, and Bohawk just opting to go back to second and hold on to his Uber charge.
Yeah, hanging on to life for now, but with 2 soldiers down, there's a lot less space to take it right now. That won't deter them just yet, though. You couldn't tell the 2 down from their position here. They want this Uber fight real badly. They're catching out a scout with this as well. Right away, 1 down already. He's likely worse Uber for the Hungarians. Going to be quick here to clean up. The bombs are coming in hot already, but they're getting cleaned up about as quick as they arrive to the fight. Served by Bohawk just around the corner, and despite Steady and Janschik dying for no kills, the scouts were there to clean up and bring it all together just barely.
Yeah, the double soldier bomb dealing so much damage, but there's a demo man behind actually. If he can get a couple of frags here, it'll be good, but it looks like he's just going to get cleaned up. But the double soldier bomb from the Hungarians into main, not getting many kills, but the amount of damage they put onto the entire combo, the Hungarian team are able to just walk forward and clean up that damage, including the medic, and got a nice healthy overcharge advantage, but Keldog on the sniper in the forward spawn.
Yeah, maybe Cal can bring the change as well. Sniping's definitely done a lot of work for them so far, but it really just comes down to if Yakuza realizes what's going on here right now. The call gets made, but Cal doesn't have the line on the medic. It's still a bit of damage coming through here, enough to actually clean up one player. The bomb's here to follow up as well. Borg is just lost in the source, looking for the sniper, but misses the bomb right in front of him as well. It's just a sack from the Hungarian side now. They need something to bring this back, but it's not enough just yet. They're trading a couple kills out, but it's just not getting the results they want. The medic is the one that has to die so desperately right now. Rampy behind, tries to get in on the combo, and that just about will bring success. It cost them all of their players though.
Yeah, it's still worth it though, being able to force out that medic. You're going to lose mid there with the amount of players you lost anyway, so getting the force out means you don't also lose second. They just got distracted by that sniper in the forward spawn, and the bomb was just completely ignored, cleaning up the entire Yakuza team there, being on low health after all the spam coming in, just standing on grass.
There we go. Uber's coming up now slowly but surely. It is a very messy game right now, but they're all still making the right calls to at least keep these out of last for the time being. Yakuza at least keeping themselves on the second point for the time being. Uber coming up as well, but we've seen the Frenchies playing it close here with the Uber into mid as well, and I don't think Yakuza is gonna risk it at all this time around. They're just staying on this stalemate, trying to grind this out the old-fashioned and slow way for now, but what's that really gonna look like for them? We haven't really seen much of any of this. It's not really been a slow game up until this point, so it's going to be interesting to see what the options are. For what it's worth, though, in mid-second transitions on just about any map, the team on mid in a better position to make a play, so maybe they're just hoping the Frenchies make a mistake.
Yeah, the Frenchies starting to poke in through grass. They do have their beam and lots of spam classes from there, but they're not trying to do much. Knight with the fake bomb. Broda nowhere near to capitalize on it, though, so don't know what they're quite trying to do. They just go back to mid. I think they're going to get buffs up and try another strategy. Maybe come in through Saw, try to pressure out those soldiers towards Cheese.
Alright, holding on for now. The shortstop's also back. I guess when you shortstop fans in the audience here, we'll keep an eye on what impact that might have on the
mid-range
gameplay. We'll see. They're taking space on the French side here, shortstop or not, trying to sneak their way in here a little bit for a better angle of spam, but no one's really finding much of anything just yet. In this first stalemate of the match, really, it's just not finding a conclusive answer to how it might be broken. Both teams struggling, getting any ideas. The Frenchies much more struggling, taking space right now as well, getting just shot off ground very quickly so far. Unable to take any position at all just now.
Yeah, they have been trying to pressure through Saw on these soldiers, but the spam from the double high ground is proving very tough to push through, so they might try to rotate back onto grass, or they might come try to bomb through window. Broda going into Africa underneath. Doesn't know where he wants to go quite yet. The scout knows he's there. Punch going down to soldier spam though. Broda really does not want to die. Knight is weak. Broda's caught in, gets a nice rocket and an air shot to Bohawk. Absolutely huge. You love to see it. Bohawk saying nice shots in the chat. I don't know quite how that soldier sack works. You're in for 10 seconds, everyone knows you're there, but you still get the air shot. So clutching up now the French with Ubercharge advantage. Full Ubercharge advantage, no buffs on the side of the Hungarians, so just going to wait for your players, and then you're going to start to pressure, I imagine.
Oh, everyone's hiding as well, but they're getting spotted so early, no one's getting anything out of the hiding place. Unlucky for Bohawk as well. Man's just getting reaction time tested, but he cannot react to the rocket leaving the launch on time. Will just go down. And it's just all steam ahead for the Frenchies. Taking second, there's still people down. The late spawns are going to hurt so much. Not going to have last setup at all right now. Morgan, 50 HP, will have to dodge into spawn to survive. But even that's not good, because if they're not on this point, they're going to lose anyway. And this cap time is forcing to contest, and no one can get anywhere close to that point anymore.
Yeah, that huge air shot coming out from Broda on 2. They make the decision to try to force out the Ubercharge or get some frags by hiding on second to defend instead of going back to last and getting a setup. Probably getting a sentry gun on the lower ground and try to have a defensive setup would probably have worked better rather than feeding in 2 players for free. But that's something I have to consider for this round if they get pushed back. Ponch pushing in on the left-hand side, getting pressured out by the soldiers once again.
Alright, big bomb in from Janchik, tries to clean up whatever they can, but they need to just get the medic right now. That's all that matters, and no one's getting anything else right now, which means, yes, they get this last clutch kill here, but that's all of them going down for that one. At least plan B worked out, but it being plan B in the first place this early into the mid fight again means just already starting off from the back for the Neem, and with no Uber and Hunters now, the Frenchies should be able to take second now.
I'm not sure what's quite going on in chat, but people asking whether someone kill-bound. I'm not sure what was going on. Bohawk confused about how he died.
That's just a setup issue, I think, at that point. If you have a kill point you can click on accident, you messed up selecting where your buttons are set.
Yeah, my kill point is as far away from everything else as possible. So I'm not sure how quite that happened. I think the consensus seems to be that it was a crater, but we'll have to go back and have a look, see what actually happened. But a defensive setup being put up on last, gun with the sniper. The Yakuza team here taking a play from most other defensive playbooks here. Although this sentry gun behind the house is a slightly interesting position.
That's like old school almost. Back in the day, people did like 10 million things with their guns. I mean, back in the day also, you could shoot through that little gap it's standing in front of. There was no fence there. That's gone now as well. Slight nerf to gun of old days, I suppose, as well. Nowadays, it's just in the middle of the point covering everything. Turns out we learned how to play the map a little bit since then. does not matter much anymore if it's back there. Also much easier spam as well. It can't reach you in the position Broda was just in. Forced out of that spot for now. It will just about hang on to life right now. Frenchies will have to get a little bit more creative. Hard last push to break open a lot of the time. You really want to see this gun go down to have a chance at the medic. And they're whittling away on it one by one. And anytime soon, Shiba might just run out of ammo here. Not closer to dispenser. Has to run back to spawn to get anything set up. And sooner or later, they will just try and get all over that thing.
Yeah, when both Shiba and the gun went down dangerously low, but he has moved it now, so hopefully that won't be quite much of an issue. Now denying lower, Broda getting caught by Yanchik and the gun. Not good for him or his health. He might swap off onto something or allow one of his other players to swap onto something. An Uber coming out. Yanchik getting the force.
That just worked.
Question marks in chat coming out as well, so can't complain if you're the Hungarians here. Apart from the fact you are.
It's full VM coming out. Yanchik forces them and calls them bad. You can't do that. That's a toxicity warning coming in right now at the end of the season where it won't matter. They were about to make a spy play as well, but that's just completely unnecessary at this point as well. Knight in the backlines as well, but there's no backup happening past the sentry gun and the soldier. Actually hits a nice little air shot, but Yanchik once again VMs all over them. NT, nice try, trying to win the fight, hits the air shot, it won't matter. Yanchik tanks it from the spawn door. All things considered, going very well here. However, he has no eyes for Broda, hiding behind the crate on second. And suddenly, there's not just one, but two players in the backlines. Problem is, none of them have any health at all, and they just get quickly outdone while also losing the Devilman. None of these plays working out for the Frenchies just now.
Yeah, while they had half their team behind, the Hungarians just walked forward and clicked on the French gamers and got some kills. So it worked out for the Hungarians. They're putting the French back onto their second. Equal Ubercharge advantage. No sticky traps to worry about. Steady coming in, and they're all really passive in the lobby. They're probably actually going to have to give up second here and go back to last. Broda killing the demo on bridge. Good frag for him, but he does get cleaned up, and it's a 4v5. Knight coming in. They're actually refighting this. The Uber coming up from the Hungarians, and Kragan milking it for slightly too long, in my opinion, but he does get the Uber charge out, but he doesn't realise that there's a soldier above him. This is going to be crazy if he can get bombed in, but he gets cleaned up.
It's not enough in the end. They just got caught by surprise a little too much. The Frenchies were a little bit in stack up one by one for a moment there. It was looking really awkward, but they traded just about every kill there, and the second they got one player out of this with one disappearing behind, the Uber exchanges had a much easier time actually getting away with anything from that position, able to clean up just enough here post-Uber as well to get this ball rolling. Uber in their hands here will deny a couple forward spawns, even put themselves in a good position to take the second point from two. However, there might still be one last surprise coming in.
Yeah, the sniper up on the Hungarian side, but the French taking second for free, so, and they have Ubercharge advantage for last, so this could be tough for the Hungarians to hold. No sentry gun like they had last time. It looks like they're coming in through lower with the Ubercharge. It comes out, sniper missing his shot, the demo and the scout coming in. Demo locking down the right side spawn, scout on the point, stickies are dead, and here we go. Medic going down, but both soldiers going down. It looks like it's going to be a tight fight. If the French can win this, they would go 2 up. That's not what the Hungarians want. They're going to be fighting for their life here.
It looks like the Frenchies realize with the medic down, they don't have to desperately try and make this work here right now, at least not nearly as much as it might seem right now, as while leaving slowly but surely, trading a couple more kills here in the end, but this Uber ads is really just what they play around right now. They got themselves a second chance, plenty good enough here, still a lot of time to go on the round timer to just take a round 2 on the last push, go the distance here and get the lead sooner or later.
Yeah, there was a bit of a coin flip after they killed the med, but to actually try to win the round there and then, so they just take their Ubercharge advantage and fight for another day, because if they do lose that fight, they also lose 2, so just playing nice and passive and getting out with their medic and running a sniper into last now. There is a spy to worry about, though.
They're like 10 levels deep on trying to outplay each other here. I don't know if any of this is gonna work. This spy is always such a weird thing. I mean, you as a spy man should know that when your opponent's already actively making the push, catching up with them after the fact is gonna be real difficult.
Yes, he is in a pretty good position as long as he doesn't get found. Right in the middle of everything. Either way they go. You can call they've got a sniper, but he does get bumped. He looks like he's just going to go through into lower and just get it out.
They didn't even play off advantage either, did they just forget?
I'm not exactly sure, if I'm honest.
Old age is getting to them.
Quite possibly, but Rapi actually swapping back onto the sniper after seeing the kill dogs on the sniper. Yanchik going down, and it's a player advantage for the French here as they pressure in through left-hand side, poking, trying to get an angle for the sniper once again.
Yeah, trying to take as much space as they have. Got the one kill, and you gotta just make so much work with the one kill on this map exactly. Once you have the opportunity, it will be enough to bomb through while the sniper cyclone is there. Cannot get out again though, we'll just have to settle with using in, but they're gonna have a much better Uber here anyway, so this is probably actually really good for them here if it wasn't for a sniper, making this a little bit more awkward. This really has to hit some shots right now. Steady's falling to his death, however, shot out the air will be putting a little bit more of a chance on the table, but they're still disconnected from one another, and easy cleanup for the scout of that as well. Puts them in just good enough a position here, and the Frenchies didn't do themselves any favors, didn't realize they had ad, and then just kind of didn't realize if they should have used in or just left earlier when they had the force as well. This Uber certainly could have worked if they were much more proactive about it in the end. Sort of stuck between two options will not be like a good one of either of them.
Yeah, if they held W and used that Uber about halfway towards the point, it could have been really strong, take that scout in, clean up those frags, but they actually went backwards, got caught. I think they were trying to just get out with and push in with their full Ubercharge advantage, because that Demoman bombed in for the force, which would have been a really nice kill to get some point pressure. Also, not having a sniper would have been very, very strong for that push, but they did get the sniper. The sniper did allow them to even have that opportunity in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
well, we remedied that fact now as well. Sniper's off the table here. Will be swapped off back to regular classes on that. Yakuza still having sniper, won't have some defensive class, but lack of a gun is awkward right now. Ooh, nice shot right there. One out the sky. At least, even without the gun, they're still defending themselves nicely for now, but there's only 1 minute left here. If the Frenchies don't find an answer soon, it might just be back to mid with no round scored in favor of blue.
Yeah, who needs a sentry gun aimbot when you've got a sniper aimbot? That's what I say. I mean, for legal reasons, I'm not calling
surely
Rapi a cheater.
No one here has ever condoned any actions like that in this server.
Hashtag free AZ.
Oh, they're just getting forced early, but it's actually fine. Bohawk down instantly, and they're in on that right away here. They got the medic out of nowhere, and suddenly it is just over in an instant. The Yakuza team messing up just one time, and suddenly they're done for. 40 seconds away from the round reset. They could have just gone to mid with a 1-0 scoreline, but suddenly they're down 2.
Yeah, well, we were having a bit of a meme about cheaters. They just walked in and killed everything and kept the point. So it's 2-0. It is. You just hold W and win the game. That's how the game works.
That's what cheaters do. They just hit everything, and there you go. Just do like they do.
Free ACN, and here we go onto mid-fight once again. The soldiers pressuring the demo for the third minute in a row. Ponch actually going down early this time for the first time, and the French not in a good position, but both soldiers going down now, and it's actually turned around for them. Hungarian's being pressured back once again. The early frags coming out. Bohawk getting caught on the low ground without his players, and he's probably going to get caught here. He is all alone, and it's going to be full Ubercharge advantage. Actually hitting his kill point this time. We know that for sure.
That one was intended, just getting out of there with the best spawn way possible. Unfortunately, still somehow barely too late to hit the same as the scouts. Will have to sit and respawn for 8 more seconds than any of his teammates, and that's a rough one right now, since they're back to last. No Uber at all. Everyone has to wait for the buffs even. And it's going to be a tough one right now. I mean, we've seen the Frenchies beef these before, but Yakuza's going to really try their goddamn hardest now to bring not just this round back, but even the game from this position.
Yes, if you're going to lose this round, you want to lose it quickly. You don't want to be standing on last for 5 minutes and then having to win 2 rounds in 5 minutes. But here we go. They are bombing in. The soldier is high up. Juggled by the demo, 2 frags coming out, demo and a soldier. That's no spam left apart from one solo soldier to deny the point. Stickies on the point for the French team. That's no spam left, just scouts and a medic. It looks like it's going to be a cap coming out for the French, and it's going to be 3-0. 9.5 minutes remaining. Like I said, at least you're not stuck on last for 5 minutes, but it's going to be a very tall order for the Hungarians to come back from here.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really hard one to bring back right now. 3 down this little time as well. It's like, what, averaging 3 minutes around, not putting you in a position where you can really mess up all too much anymore. But we know what they have to do. Do they have it in them to do it, though? It's going to be a big, big comeback to surmount this late into the game.
They did it before, can they do it again? Soldiers pressuring on the demos once again. Ponch high in the sky, getting buffed by his medic once again, but Skirt getting pushed down weak, but it doesn't matter, everyone's dying on the Hungarians, and I don't exactly know how they allowed that to happen, but they did. Just, they had the W key held on the French team, I guess.
Yeah, clean up from here, there seems to be no stopping. We talked about our teams reaching a breaking point where one team just pulls ahead mercilessly from the other, and I think we might have gotten there right now. The mat going down helps set up and last a little bit more, but even then they can't even do that. Bisbar's too late into lobby, and Scouts do what Scouts do best, press W and just run you over. Kel gets that kill as well. Bohawk with the desperate switch to Kutzkrieg here will actually get a decent bit of advantage out of this one, but more important than that, they try to fight back on second again. Mixed results right away, 2 down already here, gotta get some counterfrags quick. It might just be enough. 90 Broader Bomb as well, taking some space on point, but it's gonna be a dangerous fight to take here right now. They're not in a good position just yet. Nice shots coming out, Kel trading for one more player there in the end. 3 down each, Punch with some pipes, but it looks like the Frenchies will eventually fall back a little bit here. Let this just go to waste for the time being. They have the big lead. They don't need to take big risks anymore. They want to just get their Uber up as well. That might be, in fact, just about the most clutch decision they made today, because there was about to be a crit streak all over them.
Yeah, I think they saw the crit screen and decided to back up. They are now building the Uber charge. They seem to be aware that there is a crit screen coming up. The Hungarians is just standing on second. I think they're waiting for their spawners, but when you're running crits, you can't really wait. You have to just go in as soon as you've got that crit screen, almost no matter what. They do lose 2 as well. It's not looking good. Crits coming out, but crits versus Uber. Crits normally loses, and it loses this time. It's not looking good. It's going to be 4-0 on the board unless French absolutely throw this somehow. That's 2 up versus 6. Surely there's no way you can lose this if you're the French.
I definitely have never seen someone lose this fight. Back to point it goes. There's some good damage coming through by Steady, and Bisbar's trying their hardest here, clutching out some kills. Heals now for the demo as well, but just about too late. Has the body block before the arrows come in, as Broder brings the final rockets onto the double man. Finishing up this round, and it's a match point. France about to win low grand finals.
Yes, this is almost impossible. Not impossible, but 90 seconds per round is going to be very,
winnable.
Very hard. Hashtag winnable indeed, as the French and the Hungarians roll out, possibly for the last time. We'll have to find out as we come into this 5th round. Soldiers quickly bombing onto the demo for the 5th mid in the row, actually getting the frag quickly this time. Heavy to mid from the French. That's some old 2009 strats on Gully Wash that the French used to do. But do get 2 kills, and it looks like it's crit streak for the Hungarians once again, as the French with a sentry gun, a sniper, and a heavy on second.
I mean, you do what you gotta do right now, but I don't think Yakuza's gonna have a good time with that one right now. The Huntsman Sniper's coming out, and there we go. This is not normally chat. Check him, PC.
Broder getting the frag on Steady. Oh no, Steady missing 2 rockets. You hate to see it. But here we go. The scout crit screw probably going to come in, but it doesn't matter. The Uber comes out, and it looks like it's going to be an absolute just NG Uber. That's what you love to see, actually. Got what is this? This is definitely Highlander coming along. Sniper, NG,
you're right,
Spy. I am exactly where I want to be.
Oh, I don't think Yakuza's at all, though. They're just getting sauced at this point. The Frenchies just playing with fire here, admittedly. Like you said, it might not be easy to use this anymore, but it is still losable. Just testing the luck right now as well. It's S44 finals all over again, but I think at this point, right, not losing for a couple more minutes might just be doable still. Maybe not this round. I think they fumbled this back a little bit too much, but I mean, what does it matter right now? They have good confidence about it, and I mean, if you win like this, you're really just making it sting for your opponents.
There is a bit of a drama going on in the chat there. We have Bizbuzz saying at least we don't hack, so be interesting to see any demos being requested after this game. But it does seem to be over. They do still have the possibility of tying this. 3 rounds in 4.5 minutes is again 90 seconds a round.
I love that Broder's best insult he can come up with is trash can. That's what we do in a society where admin censors, I guess.
Oh, it's definitely over now.
Oh,
they
it's
lose
Drover.
the mid-fight. It is indeed Drover. And I think we can properly say GG. And they might even just win this round to win the map 5-1, but they're certainly going to run out of time, the Hungarians. So...
This match is setting public relations between Hungary and France back by approximately 20 years.
Oh no, the embassies are going to be absolutely flooded tomorrow morning.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun match page after the fact to look at as well. I'm sure of it. That's always, honestly, that's like the most fun part about matches in lower divisions as well. That's just like the stupidest drama of all time that just does not matter, but everyone's just trying their goddamn hardest and taking it everything the most personal they can. And you know what? I respect it. That's the energy you love to see on new and up-and-coming players.
You do exactly love to see 250 comment match pages getting entirely decimated by the admins because there's
Rest in peace, offside. He will be missed.
And the back cap coming up from the French. The Hungarians just French doing an absolute ring around the rosy there. Huntsman coming out onto Chiba and Bohawk going down to the Broda NG. Taunt coming out as well. And it looks like we are just exactly in what we love to call garbage time here, to playing for the logs and getting as much Highlander experience as you can in the 6-years official.
I mean, actually, no. I think Steady plays Haaland. I think that's the only one, actually, of any of these gentlemen who might, in fact, play Haaland anytime soon. I mean, hey, if the French just get around like this, it's just unlucky, I guess, right? You just get memed on at that point as well. It's getting closer. Look at that Bohawk involved in the kills. I mean, man's on medic on this team, maybe, but he's... that man's like a soldier main at heart, Demo main at heart. I don't even know what his main is these days anymore, to be honest. He just plays anything.
His main is the game.
True. Is that a Banny quote? It sounds like a Banny quote.
I have no idea. It may as well be. Let's attribute it to him.
I'm just imagining like the black and white Banny image with that text on it, as if it's like Albert Einstein's deepest wisdom. But I don't think it's quite that far just yet. Alright, well, at the end of the day, though, I mean, the Frenchies just pulled so far so early, right? There was such a hard time even trying to come back at that point, and they just broke them mentally, and they're continuing to do so even now at this rate. I mean, you play this map over again, I think it would just go the same way here. It took them all with the stamina a little bit, they beefed a couple last pushes, but they just always kept the upper hand, and yes, we've seen at the beginning as well. Even when there were situations where last pushes were close, they made sure that they could Dragon out alive, kept the medic in it at least, get themselves some chances there.
Yeah, they played the percentage game. As soon as we were a couple of rounds up, they weren't trying to force the issue, just making sure they were controlling the map as much as possible to make it as difficult as possible for the Hungarians to come back, and it just broke them in the end. Knowing that they have to play quickly to get some rounds on the board, making some mistakes and giving more rounds to the French, and it snowballs from there.
Alright, well, that is the end of the match here as well. Looks like Bohawk closed the server a few seconds early. Anything could have happened in the last 90 seconds. We would not be none the wiser here. We could just assume, though, it might not have been the comeback of a lifetime.
I just checked the logs. The Hungarians won 5-4. It's
Oh
incredible.
my god! No way!
You love to see it.
Well, you hate to see it because we didn't.
Oh, true.
But yeah, a great first 23 minutes of this game here where the Frenchies just kept the upper hand the entire time. Well deserved win here in the end, getting themselves the crown for this season's low division. In the end, it was a very competitive season for sure. That was like a lot of close fights all the way through the entire season in that division, and it's coming down to this right now. Frenchies just barely putting themselves ahead at the end. Well deserved.
Yes, they certainly deserve to win this game, in control of the match the entire time, apart from on the first round of product, really, where the Hungarians took that, but they adapted well on product and just completely outplayed them on Snakewater.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be the end of this season's low division, but we're far from out of the season just yet. Like I said, there's 3 more games to come. As I mentioned earlier, one of which tomorrow right away as well at 8 o'clock, Monolith against Fitness Gaming. If I can find some people to do my bidding, that should be streamed here, hopefully. We'll see what I can do. I don't want empty promises, but, you know, I will try my hardest here to get you guys open as well. If you liked the chaos you saw at the end, then oh boy, do I have the game for you tomorrow.
What game would that be?
The Monolith Fitness Gaming fighting out for Open Grand Final. I mean, there's also mid-game as well at the same time, and that's only semi-finals, which means next week we still have to come, or maybe this weekend, I don't know. We still have more to come with mid and Div 2, so we're not just going down divisions again, we're also going up divisions. Mid will be a decider tomorrow between, I think, a German and Psychon's team or something like that, and then someone's waiting in Grand Finals probably. While in Div 2, I think we have the matchup Global Yeti against Gucci Pirates, so that is like 9 Polish people fighting it out. I don't know who the Poles in chat will root for in that match. Like, it's going to be choosing their best friends at that point. Friendship is broken because you bet on the wrong team. We'll have to wait and see.
Indeed, we will. Great games to look forward to, I'm sure. And I hope you enjoyed today's cast. It was a it was a bit of a mess at the end, but most of the game was pretty strong.
That's low divisions for you as well. You never know what you get. With exactly. That, we'll see you guys the next few days, and certainly tomorrow with more low div action here on TFTV. Good night.